Hey everyone, it's Autumn. I'm going to do a really quick review on these new Revlon Color Stay Moisture Stains. So these are lip glosses that are kind of marketed as a lip stain as well. So I picked up two shades. I have London Posh and I have Cannes Crush or Cannes Crush, kind of like the in France, like the Cannes Film Festival, Cannes Film Festival. I don't know how to pronounce it, but that's what I got. So they come in, I really like the packaging that they come in. You can see the colors, and these are the actual lip glosses that you see through them. Like you can, if you kind of wiggle it around, you can kind of see the doe foot a little bit and they're moving around. But it's almost like a smoked sort of glass. Not like really a smoked, but it has a blurring effect on the product inside. So the colors that you see here, although that is the actual product, it's not exactly what pulls out because it is blurred. So with the really poor store lighting, I didn't realize that this was a shimmer shade, in which if you, I don't know, pay more attention like I didn't, looking straight on, you don't notice, but the bottom of this, if you kind of turn it towards an angle of the label, they actually have like a gold shimmer to it. So maybe that's how you can tell the difference maybe between the more cream shades and the shimmer shades of maybe just the label on the bottom, because it's really hard, especially with this shade, to be able to tell. So I thought that this was going to be just a beautiful natural peach shade on the lips, but since the glass kind of has like that smoky effect, the shade inside isn't quite exactly what I was expecting. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch it for you. And it is a peach with a lot of gold glitter. The first time that I swatched these on the back of my hand, like I got really excited in the car and I swatched them on the back of my hand, I was a little bit apprehensive because the formula kind of skipped and it looked extremely streaky. Which, as you can see, it kind of still does that, like that's extremely glittery. I will do lip swatches as well because they do look different on the lips. So as you can see, pretty shimmery and kind of a streaky formula on that one. This one right here, again, which is the Cannes Crush or Cannes Crush, I'm sorry, feel free to correct me in the comments. This one is more of a brighter coral shade, and it is right here. So with the coral shades or whatever that I went for, I wanted to get either a super bright one or like a really soft natural one. Sometimes if you get too orangey of a lip gloss especially, it'll look like you just had that fresh I just ate a bag of Cheetos look, and I definitely wasn't going for that, so that's why I chose these two shades. They had, this was kind of the nudist looking shade that they had, and that's kind of why I got it, but then it's not really a nude shade at all, really. And there were quite a few different reddish tone shades and some pinks as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do some lip swatches for you now. And this first one, again, London Posh, which just pretty much looks gold. So as you can see on the lips, it looks extremely gold. Like I have golden lips right now. It's somewhat of a sticky formula, but it's not one of those sticky formulas to where if you rub your lips together that it like takes product like from the top or bottom and makes it patchy looking. But it is noticeable and kind of annoying. So I did wear these yesterday and I prefer to blot them. So I'll show you what this looks like after it's been blotted. I've been doing some lip swatches today. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to blot this. And as you can see, it kind of leaves behind nice color, and it's more comfortable on the lips when you blot it, but I can feel the little shimmer particles. If you're someone who doesn't mind the stickiness, then, you know, by all means don't blot, but that's kind of what I prefer to do. And it also kind of helps it to stay in place so it doesn't like slide, since it is kind of like that stickier formula as well. But as you can see, the shimmer was pretty much left behind. It just pretty much took away the stickiness when I blotted. So my lips definitely look kind of shimmery gold, but it's not as overbearing as it was when I first put it on. So I think this is still kind of wearable for me. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this all off of my lips, and I will do a lip swatch of the second shade. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with the second shade. Again, this is 025 Cans Crush, I don't know. So, same thing. It's a very vivid pinky coral. So there it is, kind of without any blotting at all. And again, because of the formula, I do prefer to blot. So I'm going to go ahead and blot this with my dirty tissue. And that's the color that I'm left behind with. I really like this color. I think it's a bright color, but also I don't like it when it's kind of like a brighter color like that, especially with lip glosses, and you don't have like a lip liner on. And so that's just kind of one thing. I will show you at the end how I wear both of these colors together with a lip liner. But I'm going to talk for a second a little bit more just about these on their own. So I do prefer to blot them because they are pretty sticky. You'll feel your lips kind of sticking together. They're not like, it's really hard for me to describe the stickiness though. It never really sets. They are moisturizing a lot of the times. So the whole claim of a moisture stain, they don't dry your lips out. They are moisturizing, but I do feel like I have to blot them. They're not uncomfortable on the lips by any means, but they're just kind of annoying. The color that stays behind isn't streaky, but I will say that this lighter shade right here, the golden one, does not stain. It kind of looks like on the doe foot applicator that it kind of stained that slightly, like a pink. But on my hand, every single time that I've swatched it on the back of my hand, this one right here has stained, but this one has not. So I'll kind of wipe them away so you can see. And as you can see, just the pink stain is left behind. So that's one thing. If you were looking for like a light peach stain, you're not really going to get it from this. You're just going to pretty much get a gold gloss out of this. So this one I think is the better one as far as doing what it claims to do. Since this one doesn't stain, it's not really a moisture stain, it's just moisture gold lips. So that's not really, if you're looking for that, I think it still is a nice gloss, especially with people trying to go for that more golden summer look. I think this might be a good gloss to go with, but if you're looking for something that's going to stain, it's not really going to do it. Again though, this one does. They do have the more red shades, and I would assume that those would stain too, but I think that since this is such a light shade, it just isn't going to really show up on your lips as a stain. So I have on my lips this one, which I've already blotted. So I'm going to show you kind of how I wear these in conjunction with the lip liner. The lip liner that I like to wear with them is this Too Faced Perfect Nude lip liner. And so I usually put this on and I blot like I've done now. So that's pretty much how my lips are. And then I go around the edges with this nude lip liner. And it's creamy and you can kind of rub together. So as you can see, I'm putting a border around my lips, but I still have the color that's kind of more wearable in the middle. Okay, so as you can see, I have the lip liner on over it and just kind of blend it into the color. It does subdue the color a little bit, but I go back in with this and I just kind of place it right here in the middle. And I blot. And then that's, you can kind of leave it at that, which I have done. But I think it also looks nice with this as well. If you kind of put it on the center as well and do that. And you can also do this alone. When you just kind of have the glitter left over, go back over it with the lip liner, which I've done. So then like the shine is still on the lips from the glitter, but then the lip liner kind of subdues it a little bit, which makes it more wearable. So then once I have the glitter on, again, I go in and I just kind of get the stickiness off the top. And that's what I'm left with. So I do like these. I am going to keep them, but I do feel like, because I believe these are $9.99 each, so I kind of feel like with all the work that I have to do to make them wearable for myself, I should just get like a higher end, like nice lipstick or something like that that's going to do it all for me. I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into actually making these wearable for me. So as far as that goes, not super thrilled, but they don't dry out the lips. This one does stain. I'm assuming the darker ones will stain as well. I've noticed though that sometimes, as you can see, like the color that you see in there, like especially with this one, it's more noticeable since it's a light shade, and I've noticed that with some of Revlon's other lip staining products, like their color stain balms. As you can see there, it's a pink, a minor pink stain in there, which it doesn't actually stain my hand, but just kind of beware that maybe the stain that these will leave behind are not going to be the same as the shade. I have the color stain balm, which I will show you. So here's the color stain balm that I was talking about in the shade Precious, which is a very nude shade. And when I wear it on my lips, when I usually first put it on, it looks really nice, but then after a while it will stain my lips orange. So you kind of have to beware, and you can kind of see in these the color that they will stain. That's one thing that's nice. This one will stain to a very vivid color, so it's actually more vivid of a shade than the gloss part. So that's just kind of something to be aware of if you know, you put it on as a full gloss, and then as the glossy part fades away later on in the day and you're expecting your lips to be the same color, that's not going to be the case. And the more you reapply the gloss, the stronger the stain intensity is going to be on your lips. So that's also something to consider with these. But anyway, those are kind of my final thoughts. Honestly, I would go ahead and say pass on these. They do at first come off kind of streaky on first impression on the hand, although once I kind of got in there and I've kind of mixed up the formula, it's not as streaky and it wears fine on the lips, but it is a sticky formula. This one's pretty much pure glitter, so I don't know. They have their pros and their cons, but they're not really impressive. There's nothing about them that made me think, wow, I need to go out and get more of these. And I probably won't go out and get more of these. So anyway, those are my final thoughts. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below and I will talk to you soon. Bye!